So you've got this awesome tube head that you want to play, but you can never play because it's too damn loud. You researched it, you tried it out, you invested money on it, and it just sits there. And you just can't help but look at it and say, man, I wish I could play this thing. It sounds awesome, but it's just too loud. Well, I have a solution for you, and it might be a lot cheaper than you think. So hello everybody and welcome to a new video and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything music from death metal to Queen and everything in between. On today's video I'll show you the Bugera PS1 Power Soak Attenuator and I'll show you how to not make it suck. Okay, so super quick, let me explain what an attenuator actually does. The attenuator is a little piece of gear that will actually soak up your volume and will allow you to play your awesome ass amplifiers through your cabinet at lower volumes. So you can actually crank the living shit out of your amplifier at volumes that you would not be able to withstand in your bedroom, your studio, wherever, and it'll actually make the tubes heat up and sound awesome, but it won't take the paint off of the walls. So yeah, that's enough of an explanation. You can actually get very technical, but that's not why you're here. You want to hear what it sounds like and how to not make it suck. Okay, so here it is. This is the Bugera PS1 Power Soak. And it's not a lot of money. It's actually cheaper than getting a crappy old practice amplifier for your room that it's just never gonna sound great. And it actually gives you a lot more options than, you know, a $100 amplifier. And it sounds a lot better. But you have to manage your expectations. Going through this little box here is not gonna make your amplifier sound as well as it does when it's cranked up without it. It's just not going to. It's going to cut some of the treble out of it. It's not going to have the attack it usually does. But for about $129, it gives you so much bang for your money. It's ridiculous. I would definitely recommend that you get one if, you know, you're in a pickle. Again, it's not the best attenuator, but it'll do the job. If you want to get something better, you can always go with the 2-notch torpedo, or even better, the universal audio aux. You know, matter of preference. I like the aux the best. But again, for less than $150, you can even pick one up used for less than $100. So yeah, very simple setup. You have a line volume, an overall gain volume, and then in the back you've got these two very distinct parts. You have the amp input part, and I really dig this because you can actually do a 4 ohm, 8 ohm, or 16 ohm connection. So you go from the head using a speaker cable. Very important, you need a speaker cable. You actually need 2 speaker cables. So one is going to go from the head to this instead of going into the cab, and then from the speaker output you have to go to a cabinet using the second speaker cable. You need to have that load. And even though you do get a line output and an emulated mic output, you still need to go to a cabinet. You need that load. Very important. Otherwise you're gonna fry your head and you don't want to do that. Trust me. Okay, so to sum up, we actually have 3 different outputs and you can actually use all 3 of them together, or one of them, or 2 of them at a time. So this one goes to the speaker, and that's going to be controlled by the big knob here. So that'll be your speaker, your cabinet volume. Then you have the line, which is going to be controlled by this guy here, and that's what we're going to use to go into like an interface or maybe a mixer if you want to. And then the last one is going to be your emulated mic, which you can actually use to go into an interface or a mixer or anything like that. But this one already sounds like a cabinet. This one does not. This is just a clean line output. So I'll show you the difference in a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plug them all in and I'm going to show you how they sound and what's the difference between them. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that this emulated mic is also controlled by this guy here. So if you want to use the emulated mic, you are going to get some volume out of your cabinet. If you want to just use the line, you can actually kill the cabinet volume and just control the line volume with this knob here. Okay, so this is very simple. I have the line output going into the input number 1 on my interface. Then I'm going from the emulated mic output into my input number 2, of course from the speaker to the cabinet, and I am inputting from the output of the head into the input that matches the ohms from the head, which is going to be 8 ohms on this particular example. And you have to make sure that both speaker cables are going into the right places. One of them is going to the speaker and the other one is coming in from the head. Okay, so for this particular video, I am actually going to use the PV Valve King 100 watt amplifier, which just happens to be visiting the studio this week. So I'm actually going to try it out and make sure that it works perfectly.
A few moments later.
Alright, so the first thing we're actually going to try out is the guitar going into the cabinet itself. So we're just using the attenuator as an attenuator. So we're just going from the head to it and then from it to the cabinet, and I have it at 0 right now. So this is the minimum volume we are going to get out of a 4x12 oversized Mesa cabinet. Okay, so the strings are way louder. So yeah, it's taming the beast. Okay, so let's open it up and let's get some more volume out of it. Okay, I would definitely call that bedroom level. It's, you know, loud enough so you can feel the distortion and you can actually hear the guitar going, but you can still have a conversation and play. If I'm watching TV or something and I just want to play, I can still do that. I can have the TV on and work on my scales at the same time. So that's a win already in my book. But let's open it up even more. Let's open it up even further. You will hear the difference. I mean, the mic is right here, so yeah, you're not gonna get the full effect. We are going to go through the interface so that you do get the full effect. But I'm gonna open it up a little bit more and you're gonna hear, probably, hopefully, the fact that you will get more treble in. Because here's the deal, the way this works, it's actually counterintuitive. So it's not really that you're raising the volume of the thing, you're actually cutting less. So instead of going from a 0 up, you're actually going from 100 down. That's when the attenuator is working the most. And that's when some of the issues happen with this little PS1 unit. Surfing through the interwebs and stuff, I've seen that a lot of people complain about the fact that it gets really hot. It's not been the case for me, not with this head though. It is rated for 100 watts, so if you have more than that, you are actually pushing the attenuator and the unit itself. Like if I were to use my triple rectifier head, which is 150 watts, and I would, you know, attenuate all of it, it would probably get really hot because it is resistance. So it is resisting more wattage than it's actually rated for. But I've had no troubles with this guy, and this is 100 watts, which is, you know, what it's actually made for. And I've had it, you know, for over an hour at 0 volume just to see if it actually got really hot, and it didn't. And then again, on the day-to-day, you're probably never gonna have it on 0 for that long, unless you're just using the line output to record into an interface and you're just playing for a long time. But even then, I don't see it happening. I don't see it really heating up, at least not enough that it becomes an issue. Okay, so let me open it up a little bit more and let's get some more treble and some more attack in. I love the response on it. It just sounds like an amp, and it feels and it behaves like an amp. Because it is an amp, and that's awesome. It's noisy, it's grimy, it's filthy. It's everything a plugin is not. And don't get me wrong, plugins sound great, and they sure have come a long way. But there's something about an actual tube amplifier that just resonates with me. I mean, I might just be used to it, because I mean, I started playing with plugins maybe like 5 years ago, and I've been playing guitar for like 20, but tube amplifiers, bro. Alright, so let's go into the interface and let's see what it sounds like, and let me show you how to not make it suck. Okay, so something I would definitely improve or make better or change if they ever come up with a version 2 of this is the fact that you cannot change the volume on the mic emulated output without it actually affecting the cabinet sound. So if you want more volume out of it, then you bring the big knob up and you're gonna get it out of the cabinet. So it's not as quiet and it's not as useful. You wouldn't be able to play with the emulated mic output, you know, at 2 in the morning if you wanted to. This is what the PV Valking sounds like going through the emulated output. Now, as you can probably tell, that doesn't sound that awesome. It's okay, it's definitely usable, it's just not something to write home about. But here's my secret sauce to actually make it sound a lot better. By the way, let me just point 2 things out. First of all, I'm just gonna play basic stuff so you guys can tell the difference. You're not here to see me play, you wanna hear what that sounds like. And second, this is not a sponsored video. In fact, I couldn't even get an affiliate link for this because the website I actually work with doesn't have it in stock. So if you actually enjoy this video, I would really appreciate if you just drop me a like and drop me a comment in the comment section down below. That way it can show it to more people that are interested in stuff like this, like you. Alright, so let's try this out now. We are not going to use the emulated mic out because it pretty much sucks. It blows chunks. It's not great. It works, and it's awesome that it has one, so it'll definitely help you out in a pinch, but we're not going to use it. Alright, so let's kill that. I'm going to grab that big ass knob and turn that down to 0. Now I'm going to open up a second track, and on this second track I am going to grab the line output. Okay, so now what's happening is we have the guitar going into the head, and from the head it's actually splitting the signal into the cabinet itself, which we have turned to 0, so it sounds like this. I mean, we'll still get a little bit of sound, but you know, the strings sound louder than that. And into the line. So now we have to adjust the line volume accordingly. Okay, so now we're going into the interface straight out of the line output, and it sounds like this. Now Pat, that sounds way worse. Yeah, you're right. This is the sound of the head itself going into an interface. So we're just recording the sound of the head. But if we wanted to use the head to play out live or play with our friends or whatever, we need a cabinet. So now what we need to do is we need to load in a cabinet or an impulse response. And now the possibilities are endless. Okay, so for this particular example, I am going to use the Miko Reflex plugin, and you get a ton of presets with different cabinets and speaker configurations, with different mic configurations as well. It's ridiculous. There's so many tonal possibilities here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use it as it came. I open the plugin up and first preset. So now that same head, that same line output sounds like this. Now that sounds really cool. And now this is behaving just like an amplifier, just like a head and a cab, and you can always tweak around your sound and make it sound better or worse. So here we go. We go into the lead channel, which is what we're using now. And all of that is happening in real time using an actual amplifier. Now, of course, if you want to tweak it up and, bring the volume up on the cabinet, or just play around with the EQ, or maybe even add compression to this, you can of course do that. You'll do that in Logic or whatever DAW it is that you're using. But by using this setup, you can save your money and not buy that crappy old amplifier. You can get the actual tone out of your loud ass tube amp, and you can record straight into an interface without really bothering anybody. You could actually blast it on headphones if you wanted to, and be super loud well into the night without really disturbing anybody. And yeah, it's been around, what, an hour of me recording? I mean, of course I'm gonna trim this down to maybe like 8-10 minutes, but this thing, stone cold. It's as cold as when I started playing, really. So yeah, it hasn't warmed up at all. Anyway guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please drop me a like. If you did, drop me a comment in the comment section down below. I really hope you guys find this useful, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe to this channel like a man if you haven't yet. I'm trying to get to that first 20,000 subs, so yeah, it would be amazing if we can get there soon. Anyhow, I'll see you guys next time. Pat out, metal on, dudes.